first piece I wrote about bilingualism was retweeted by a group that I follow on Twitter, and I saw they had a post that said, "Check out what an American professor has to say about bilingualism." And I thought, wow, that's interesting. I wonder what this American professor has to say. And then once I clicked the link, I realized that I was actually the American professor.
I'm most passionate about adolescent health and improving both protective factors and risk factors for adolescent health and educating others. It's okay to be controversial and get these issues out where they need to be talked about and need to be addressed, and we have to start having some hard conversations about this issue.
Recently, some comments that I made ran in Forbes magazine. One of the first things I said in my comments was, you really need to find a mentor, someone who you trust, someone who you can believe in, who will help you learn to speak up. Part of leadership is not just about you as an individual, it's about bringing others into the process.
Diversity is definitely a business imperative. It helps to increase our worldliness, expand our social development, in working with others, increase in our creative thinking.
My second piece on colorism was co-written with one of my colleagues at Texas Women's University.
It was absolutely fun to be able to work with Carmen, to glean from her experience as well, and to be able to marry our ideas together.
But also be very comfortable providing constructive criticism, and then could celebrate together.
It just propelled me and stirred me to write more and even get more of my voice and ideas out there to share with the world.
What prompted my piece on the need for a National Slavery Museum was my work on the Caribbean. As a result of the Pacific Standard piece, I was called to interview with the Central Time radio program on Wisconsin Public Radio, and then a El País writer was interested in interviewing me, which went very well.
I wrote a piece about the term daycare and how it is a bit disrespectful to the child care providers who work in the field, who care for the children. It was picked up by a national accrediting body. The listserv that the accrediting body handles will reach thousands of potential people in the field and around the field. The link was shared on Facebook a couple thousand times.
I got an email because we're trying to go through accreditation, and so it said, you know, what are professionals reading, and there was a link to her piece on there.
That's cool.
As a result of my piece in The Guardian on the language of no homo and males' use of that, I was invited to do a radio interview on the Tony Alexio political show out of Washington, D.C.
So I wrote this article and I posted it to my Facebook page, and next thing I knew, it really exploded all over the internet.
There was reaction to the Why Not Me, I'm available to be an adoptive parent through social media. It was shared over 500 times through different venues. It was actually ending up on sites that dealt with foster care and adoption, as well as being shared by people who are adoptive parents through the foster care system.
Very exciting to have my first piece published in the Dallas Morning News. 8 a.m. I got a call from our CEO saying that she is thrilled that no one in our organization for 36 years has had the knowledge and the expertise to get our message out to the community in this way.
There's so many things that need to be changed and so many voices that we haven't heard that can work toward changing that. It's a public university. It's really exciting to hear voices from institutions like this.
When I think about who I speak for, and in this program we ask women to think about who do you speak for? Who do you want to speak? Who do you want to empower? What do you want to change? I ask them to think about who is that person in their life
One of the things about the Public Voices Fellowship is we're working with some of the most brilliant minds in the nation. And so one of the endeavors of what we're all doing together is to invest in that brain power, much of which is absent from the public conversation. What could we do, and what would be the return to society if we could invest in all those missing voices and missing ideas?
If you say things of consequence, there may be consequences.
But the alternative is to be inconsequential. What's been inspiring for me in being a part of this fellowship is being with 20 talented women who just come from diverse backgrounds.
Personally, it's given me a way to say, this is who I am, this is Dr. Mandy Stewart, and this is what I believe.
This kind of reinvigorated me and reminded me of my responsibility as a leader to pass some of that on.